Good evening. Tonight you are going to learn specifically how to multiply polynomials. You last night learned how to add and subtract. Now let's learn how to multiply. Alright, before you start writing in your notes, I'm going to go over a couple activities with some algebra tiles so I can give you some concrete examples of how to do this. So it's important to remember that the tiny square is a 1, so the one that has a plus and the one that has a minus are positive and negative 1. The rectangular the rectangular tiles mean x, and the one that has a plus is a positive, one that has a minus is a negative, and the big squares, these ones are squares, are the x squared that we're just now learning about. Okay, so we're going to find the product of the two binomials, which means a two-term polynomial, from the tile shown. X plus 3 is one rectangular positive tile and 3 positive 1 tiles. X minus 2 is one rectangular x tile and 2 negative 1 tiles. So when we go through and we multiply a rectangle by a rectangle, we get a squared, which is x squared. When we get a 1 times a positive, it becomes a negative rectangle, which is just negative x. This one is also negative x. A rectangle times a tiny square, that's a 1, is a 1x. All of these are 1x's. And a negative 1x times a positive 1, not x, sorry, square, is 1. That's negative. So all of these are negative 1s. What we're going to do essentially is we're just going to add up all the like figures. And then we're going to combine our like figures. So we have 1x squared, and then we have 3 positive x's and 2 negative x's, 3 positive x's, 2 negative x's, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1s. Combine our like terms. The polynomial, after we are done multiplying, and it's simplified into standard form, is x squared plus 3x, not 3x, x squared plus, I had to restart that, x squared plus 3x minus 2x is x minus 6. All right, B, I'm just going to go through and add. So that's 1x squared, 2x squared, 3x squared, 4x squared. So 4x squared, this is a positive x, negative x, negative x. 2 positive x's added with 2 negative x's is 0, so those cancel. And then minus 1. 2 positive x squareds, 2 positive x squareds, 1 negative x with 4 positive x's combines to positive 3x, and then minus 2 because we have these two small rectangles. 1 negative x squared, 1, 2, 3 positive x's, 2 negative x's, so plus x, and then plus 6 1s. And you did it. That's how the algebra tiles will look. You do want to be going past the algebra tiles into what we're going to get into next. So let's talk about what to do when you have a 1 times a 1. 1 times 1 is 1. What if you have a 1 times a negative 1? 1 times a negative 1 is negative 1. What if you have a negative 1 times a negative 1? You get a 1. Remember this for D, the next one, the rectangle means x, so you have a positive x times 1, and x times 1 is x. When you have a positive x times a negative 1, you have a negative x. When you have a negative x times a positive 1, you have negative x. when you have a negative x times a negative 1, you have a positive x. Okay, now we're going to switch things up. What about if you have x times x, x squared? Not two x's. We're not adding them, so we can't say 2. We have to say x times x and use our exponent. What if we have a positive x times a negative x? It's negative x squared, and a negative x times a negative x is x squared again. All right, that was just for you guys to remember how to do that. Let's go into some examples. All right, you don't have to use algebra tiles, but if the algebra tiles help you, you can draw them on your paper. I'm going to try and push us past the algebra tiles, and we're just going to find the product, okay? So, first method, the one method that I prefer is I'm going to just go ahead and write 2x, our first term, negative 2, our second term. 2x, our first term, and 1, our second term. And I'm going to just go through and fill in the boxes with their product. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. 2x times negative 2 is negative 4x. And negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. All right, I like this method because it's quick, organized, and works for all polynomials, every single polynomial. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of my box because I organized it. 4x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 2. Can I combine anything? I can combine these two because they're like terms. They have x's with no exponents. So 4x squared minus 2x minus 2. And you're done. That's all you have to do to multiply. I would like you to try B with that box method that I did right here. You try B in your notes. All right, thanks for trying B. You should have had 4x on the outside. You should have 3. You should have x, and you should have negative 2. So I'm giving myself some space to write inside. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times negative 2 is negative 8x. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Pull it out of the box. You'll get 4x squared minus 8x minus plus 3 minus 6. Combine your like terms. 4x squared minus 5x plus, sorry, not plus, that's minus 6. And you're done. All right, you guys go ahead and try C and D, and I will resume the video and just give you the answers. All right, thank you for pausing your video. You should have gotten for C negative 2x when you were done combining plus 2x plus 4. For D, you should have got 2x squared. Oh, sorry, did I forget the square in C? Sorry, negative 2x squared for C. 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. All right, now I'm going to go through and teach you another method. It's called FOIL, F-O-I-L, and it stands for the operations that you are going to go through in order to only multiply binomials, so 2 by 2. All right, I know Mr. Isles prefers FOIL over the box method, and I prefer the box method. So your choice, the choice is in your hands. What do you want to do? But remember, FOIL only works for binomials, so 2 by 2s. Okay, F stands for the first term, so we're going to do 3x times negative x. 3x times negative x is negative 3x squared. O stands for the outer terms, so now we're going to do 3x times negative 1, and 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x, okay? I stands for the inner terms, so 2 times negative x, and 2 times negative x is negative 2x, and then L stands for the last term, so 2 times negative 1, and 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. go through and combine your like terms, and I have x's that are like terms. For e, it's negative 3x squared minus 5x minus 2. And you're done. Okay, f stands for the first term. 2x times 2 is 4x. Oh, first term, 2x times negative 3. 2x times negative 3 is negative 12x squared. The outside term, now I'm going to do the 2x times 2 plus 4x. Now I'm going to do the inside terms. 1 times negative 3x and 1 times negative 3x is negative 3x. And the last terms, 1 times 2 and 1 times 2 is 2. Combine your like terms. Negative 12x squared plus x plus 2. All right, you go ahead and try G and H with the FOIL. Remember, F stands for first. O stands for outside term, outer. I stands for inner terms, inside terms. And L stands for last terms. Thank you for trying G. On G, you should have got just x squared. Thank you for trying H. In H, you should have got 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. All right, I would like you to go ahead and answer the essential question. And your essential question is how to multiply two binomials using, I'm going to scratch out algebra tiles. I would like you just to be able to explain how would you multiply it. What is your preferred method of multiplying it? And list out the steps. All right. Make sure you take the checkpoint so we know what assignment you're going to be doing tomorrow. Have a good night, guys.